Hello everyone, welcome to programtalkies.com and it's me Roshan Shrestha. On this particular tutorial we'll be generating multiplication table in C programming. Multiplication table, something like, let's say we need to generate multiplication table of 2, then we'll be obviously doing some stuffs like 2 times 2 equals 4 and so on. In this case, all these 2, 1 and 2 are integer numbers. These are the operands, and we'll be performing some arithmetic operation which is going to be product in case of multiplication, and we'll be obviously needing some final value. That is, we'll be dealing with 3 integer numbers. So let's begin by declaring the variables like integer I, j and k for 3 numbers. Now what we'll be doing is, before that, let me assign some random values like value of I equals 2, then value of j equals 3, and k is going to be the product of I and j. Now if we are to access the value of this particular variables, then we'll be writing something like %d times %d equals something. Whoa. And this %d are term days format specifier for integer data type. The first number is going to be the value of I, second one would be that of j, and the final one is going to be the result of k, that is product of I and j. Now if we build and run this particular program, it will generate something like 2 times 3 equals 6. So far so good. Now we won't be assigning values by writing I equals 1 2 3 blah 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 and writing multiple lines. Rather than that, we'll be implementing loop. For now I'm going on with for loop. Feel free to try any of the existing loops like while loop or do while loop as well. Now I equals 1, this is going to be the initialization, then the test condition is going to be I is less than or equals 2, and I'm incrementing it by 1. Here it implies we'll be generating multiplication table of 1 and 2. Now let's say we need to generate the multiplication table of 1 and 2 beginning from 1 and ending at 10. So we'll be dealing with nested for loop. Now inside this particular for loop, I'll be writing another for loop. J equals 1, j is less than or equals 10, that is I'll be beginning from 1 and ending at 10, and is updating the value by 1. Now what will happen is, I'll be placing this particular content inside this inner loop of ours. Then what will happen is I equals 1, 1 is less than or equals 2, test condition is satisfied, so this particular inner loop would be executed. It's beginning from 1 up to 10. So each and every time what will happen is, at first j equals 1, 1 is less than or equals 10, test condition is satisfied, so it will be executed. 1 times 1 equals 1. Value of k, what is the value of k? Now we need to place the formula for k, that is what is going to be the value of k. Value of k is going to be something like product of I and j. It will be pretty much cool. Now 1 times 1 equals k, that is I times j equals 1. Similarly 1 times 2 equals 2, 1 times 3 equals 3, and so on. So the value of I will remain constant throughout the execution of this particular for loop. So after the successful completion of the multiplication table of 1 from 1 to 10, the value of I would be updated to 2. Here 2 is less than or equals to true, so this will again execute and will display something like multiplication table of 1 and 2. Now let's debug, let's build and run this particular program. Wow, cool. We're getting output as per our expectation. The multiplication table of 1 is beginning from 1 and going up to 10. Similarly, the multiplication table of 2 is going from 1 to 10. This particular outer for loop is used for how many multiplication tables we'll be needing. That is, we'll be needing multiplication table of 1 and 2 in this case. This will remain constant throughout the execution from 1 to 10. Now this particular inner loop would be executed completely each and every time this particular outer loop is executed. Now let's try to make it up here more clean by writing something like table of integer number, table of whose value we need. We'll be needing table of obviously I. Now I'm pressing F9. Now this is fascinating, right? Table of 1, table of 2. Similarly, we can go up to any number we want. I is less than or equals 10. Now if we press F9, that is build and run, I'm getting all the output required from beginning from 1, table of 2, table of 3, table of 4, right, table of 5, table of 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now let's say we need to provide the option to the user. Then we'll be doing something like this. I'm declaring another variable number, then I'll be asking the user regarding up to which point you need to display. I'll be writing something like, please enter any num up to which up to which you want to display. Okay, that would be cool. Scanner for taking user input, integer number, and we'll be going on with address of num. Wow. Let me make it something like enter any number up to which you want to display. Then we'll be getting this. Then I'll be changing this one. So let's again build and rerun this program. Please enter any number up to which you want to display the multiplication table. I'm going on with 12. So value of num equals 12. Then for I equals 1, 1 is less than or equals 12. Then it will display table of 1 at first, because initialization is 1. Then the inner loop would be executed. J equals 1, 1 is less than or equals 10. Here in this particular block we are implementing nested for loop. In case of nested for loop, each and every time the outer loop is executed, the inner loop would be executed completely, and it will display something like this. Okay, up to 12 we are getting, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all those are value of I, and this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 are the result of the execution of this particular inner for loop. Okay guys, I guess it was helpful for you regarding the generation of the multiplication table in C programming. I hope you guys have good time. I'll be catching you guys next time with some more interesting stuff. Till then, have good time.